Okay, we got like less than a minute. Safe travels.
Harry, the poll is now closed. The poll is now closed.
Ollie's getting that 30 seconds, boy. You got 30 seconds.
That's what the rule books say.
Yeah, I know. No.
6 o'clock at 59 minutes after. All right. Okay.
All right.
Hey, I'm going to hang outside. You get
Yeah, it's packed inside there, guys. It's so packed. The whole parking lot out here has got vehicles, people just coming in. There was a line inside. It's raining, but I hung out here because it was warm and dry, and I knew a lot of people that was here today. But boy, there has been a lot of voters come out today. Parking lot's full over there. People. Oh, there, that's 6 done. My door closes. Bam. You come out, you're not getting back in. And with that, we'll be back on here in a little bit. Tell you how the numbers are going. I'll try to do a live podcast at 9 or 8. All right, thanks. Bye. Obviously, I never came back on that night. And the rest is history. So, tonight, it's just going to be me. Catherine is out trying to pick up the remainder of her signs and finish her, what are they called? What does she call them things? The stuff she does on the patients. Can't remember what it's called right now for some reason. Let's see what we got over here. Oh, we got somebody coming in. Hello, 6 puppies. I don't know where all you guys want to get started, but just letting you know. Charting. Thank you. Thank you, 6 puppies. Catherine is charting, and then she has to go make some sign runs to pick up the remainder of the signs. So that's what it is. But we are still going to get into the nitty gritty of everything that happened Tuesday into Wednesday into Thursday, and basically whatever you guys want to talk about, any questions you guys might have about what happened Thursday, what you want to know. I'm going to pull up a website, because the one thing we started having issues with right out the gate was, where do we find the information, right? And some people's numbers were different than our numbers. Just go ahead and just go here to Google, get this pulled up. So if you're watching, just go over here to Google and type in, no, can you see the, no, you can't see that. Okay. So what I did, the Indiana Voters Portal. So basically, www.indianavoters.in.gov was one of the places that I tuned into on Tuesday, and it gives us the option to click on Republican or Democrat ticket. So we were trying to follow the Republican ticket, and they had this ticker up here. Well, there's a few things that several of us have been calling out the last couple of days, just like on my race. I won the delegate seat with 1,281 votes, but somehow I only got 1,000, no more than 1,050 votes in the district. So there was a couple things that stood out to us. The numbers for Hamilton County didn't seem to be added into Catherine's numbers. All these websites were putting out numbers. And of course, we were, hearing the hearsay gossip. But when we finally got some information, I think the first round was on the Madison County election board website, ironically, because usually I can't find anything on there, but they did have the results by like 8 something. And here in a minute, we'll go look at that, because something else we found odd was that it didn't look like everything was registered. All the numbers were off. We've had several complaints about people's ballots, what they were seeing on their ballots. Some people say they were turned away at one poll. I had the sign damages issue on 425. And then same thing, Crossroads, when we showed up there on Tuesday, me, Catherine, and Roman, just to kind of check out the polling location, there were like a stack of Democrat signs leaning up against the window, or leaning up against the wall. Yeah, thank you, Alva. I think so too. So I think our voices were heard. I won my delegate race, but lost the district race, and everybody knows the outcome of Catherine's. So unless something happens and they find a bunch of missing ballots, sadly, that's what we got. So 4,095. I don't know, because I thought I looked at this earlier. So something must have happened here, because I looked at it and it was a different number. Because it was almost exactly 1,000 when I looked at it the other day. Let me see if I can get that to, I don't know what you guys are looking at. I don't know if you're on your computer, if you're on the phone. So I don't know about you guys either. So like on some of these that didn't have any opponents, I just skipped over them. Yeah, I'm going to have to stay active. This was just the beginning for me. Catherine will make some decisions here in the upcoming weeks on how she wants to proceed. We're going to stick with the Two Chicks podcast, though, weekly. So we're not going away from there. I just don't know how often she's going to want to be on here, unless it's big
big topics. So there is something brewing with the Madison County parks that we will come back this weekend. There was a parks board meeting today. I guess tempers flared, eyes were rolling. An elected official and one of the board members got into a heated debate. So that we'll be covering that this weekend. But for the other stuff, this has just been a jam-packed full week. So, oh, it's going to keep. See, that's one thing I can't stand. Now it's been over. I'm just going to keep resetting. Okay. So here, John. So this was kind of a little. We thought for sure Jonathan Culp was going to win that, just based on how good he marketed himself. I even had a great conversation with him on the Saturday, 425. And he was very polite. There was a little bit of electioneering that happened that Saturday, and I honestly don't think that he was involved, even though he was in the shoot with Mikhail and Christie. I don't know if he actually knew what he was doing was wrong until after the fact or not. But I know he did see when Tim Lannon came over and made me move my sign. So I feel like everyone was aware by noon that was the shoot and you can't get in it. So why they continued to go in and out of it, that's on all them, but they can explain themselves. And if we get a hearing, I filed a complaint Monday. That's some good numbers, though. 8,205 for Larry Davis. So we know we had at least over 8,000 Republicans vote. We'll go look at the Democrat numbers because I don't even think I've looked at those. Cory Bolander won. District 1, 53%. See, and I'll show you my yeah, we saw that too. We say that too. Rule book must be used across the board or don't use it at all. You can't make it apply to people like me and Catherine and then let everybody else get away with everything, especially someone who's already been in trouble with felonies, voter fraud felonies, and check deception. Expungement or not, you can't let people get away with stuff or they'll continue to do it. And then they threw him through the Madison County Election Board under the bus. So that was kind of funny later in the day. I put that video on our YouTube channel. State representatives. You guys are going to have to tune in. If you don't know who your state representatives are, you're going to have to start tuning in to who they are and see what they stand for, because this general election is going to be a really good, it needs a lot of people to get out and vote, even if it's not like a huge national election. Okay, it jumped on me. We all thought that Lisa Summers did pretty good, even though, for her first run against somebody like Linda Smith, that's a good 3,800. That almost splits the voters in two with her. Okay, well, Rick Gardner still got 7,000. Okay, John Beeman. I think that's a pretty good 3,986 win. Got 43.5% of the vote. I got 45% there. But if you look at the number in my delegate race, I actually got 1,281 votes. So too bad the delegate race seat wasn't the same size as the county district, or I would have beat him there. Mike Reed for County District 3. Now, there are Democrats running against these guys. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, Alva. Okay, hold on. I'm going to show this right there. So 70,600 people in Madison County registered but didn't vote. Now, that's sad that less than 9,000 people for the Republican side got out and did something. So when I run again, those are the people I'm going to be marketing to, plus the ones that voted me in to be the delegate. I'm trying to get down here before this resets again. So if you go to this website, you'll see these numbers. I think these are going to be the most accurate. And then when they go and make everything official, because if you look, 94%, this doesn't make sense. 94% of the votes in. Why not all of it? No, okay, here it goes. So convention delegates, Heather Gaskell Prophet won. She beat her brother Josh by over 500 votes, which, you know, Mike gets, how many? That makes 2. And I know it's not much, but it's still something to have more than one vote on the elections, like the convention for the SOS. District 1 had a nice little run. Okay, I see how they do it. So this puts them in the order. It's 1, they get 8. So Linda, Jerry, Denise, Freeman, Leland Franklin, Timothy Smith, Kylie Gaskell, and Kira. So that's 8. So that's 3 Gaskell votes at the convention. I don't know. To me, that's political nepotism. That's how it works. Get more votes than what people should. Jeremy Chubb beat Corey Hughes. Some of Corey Hughes's campaign signs were leaning up against Crossroads Church too. And I don't know if I have them readily available, but if I can, before I move on to predictions towards the end, I'll try to show you the picture. I know it's in one of Catherine's live videos. If I get past these and that reset, yeah, because there's call lists. Okay. I was trying to get down here to the delegates. Okay, there's their delegates. See, right here, 3rd place. And the delegates, I got, oh, so it went up to 1,283. I came in higher than Ken, who is the elected, what is he? He's not the assessor? No. Oh, surveyor. Shoot. Danny, Madison County had polling centers, right? Yeah. I mean, we had like a week of satellite voting, and I think there was like 2 weeks of the courthouse voting, and then we had 2 Saturdays. Okay, so I did win the delegate. I will be one of the District 2 delegates at the June convention. I know who I'm not going to vote for. If anybody's been following my story. And speaking of which, Diego Morales told some fibs on me and said I was harassing him, and they had to block me from his page, which I guess apparently asking too many questions people don't like now becomes harassment. I just wanted my election complaints heard, and I wanted to know why they hadn't launched an investigation. I don't think that's too much to ask, honestly. I don't know what that's sweet, but yeah, that's sweet. Oh, me winning. Yeah, I think so. But okay, so on to, this is actually what they were trying to get me bumped out of back in February. If any of you guys were following along with the complaint process, like me and Catherine both got hit by complaints Russ Willis filed. Catherine's was way bigger. Like, it was over 100 pages. I don't even remember how many pages hers was. Mine was about 90, and most of it was cropped and based on false statements. But I still stood on the Constitution, which we'll get into that when I get to that part. But Jennifer Culp was in the complaint. Todd Culp was in my complaint. Chloe Anagnos was in the D5 complaint. So it's kind of interesting. I didn't realize I would be running against Chloe until like later. And then she yelled at me last week, which I have the WHBU radio clip. It was kind of funny. But then she was talking about me on Tuesday with Heidi Snyder on WHBU, which I don't know why everybody wants to keep talking about me, but okay. Chloe would have known she got beat already. And she's doesn't understand why people like me. It's because I'm nice, Chloe. Yeah, you might try it sometime. Okay, Joni Harvey. I like her. Adam Harvey. I was trying to think of what his name is. Her son's Adam Harvey. Lloyd Brown used to work in the voter registration. And you guys, if I could turn on my camera right now and you could see that my black shepherd has just snuck into the kitchen and got a package of crackers and is sitting here. I don't know if you guys could hear that noise. He was behind me trying to open up a thing of crackers. I swear. Quit distracting me, bro. Okay. So let me get back over here. So Joni, mom of Adam Harvey, Lloyd Brown was in voter registration. Jennifer Culp, right there, 1,197. I got 1,283. So I beat Jennifer Culp. If I run in 2027, no, they've already ate. I swear, Alva, they already ate. I watched him. We came home. Yeah, did you hear the tail? That's my rescue. And she's one of them little pity mixes. And she's got this fat little tail. And she just whacks everybody with it. No, they get special food, Alva. And I fed them when they got home. And I think they just want attention right now. Oh, no, I know. They want water. Hold on. All right, there, take that. I'm going to give them some actual chewies so that they won't do that to me again. I got an all black shepherd. I got a little chihuahua sitting here. Dasher. Come here. Oh, get your crate. You're not. I went to go do something nice for him, and he'd already jumped up on the kitchen table, looking out the window. I tell you what, have a growstead, have dogs, they said. You never really think about how, they're so cute and cuddly when they're little. And then they get so big, man. He's like the tallest German Shepherd I've ever seen. He's up on top of my kitchen table trying to look out the window at my husband, I guess. Okay. He got put in a crate, so he will not be a distraction. The other two got a bone. So, all right. Sorry. Happens. Human. With a growstead, I have a little mini hobby farm that keeps my attention when I'm not doing all this other stuff. Okay. I think you guys get my point. Oh, no. Yes. I didn't even get to the point. Russ Willis. Okay, Russ Willis did get more than me. I forgot to look at this. So he was in District 1, but even at that, he didn't get on the board. So all these other people got on the board above him. I came in more than Jennifer Culp, which if I run next year for city council, I was thinking about running for her district, or I want to do at large. The next time I run, I want to do at large. Okay, guys? Because I think that my number base reaches throughout Anderson and it reaches throughout Madison County. And it's really hard to win a district. So if I run again, I was going to do an at-large position. But seeing the numbers on this delegate race and how I was able to come in over Culp gives me, like, I think the hardcore Republicans should be looking at these numbers thinking, oh, snap, because you got Kyle Pierce's wife didn't even make the board. And look at all the stuff she had. She had WHU. She had radio. She's got all them positions. She's got all them people. I think her and Kyle, I know Chloe was walking doors, and she did all that, and she still came in at under 1,000 votes. I mean, that's a lot of work to pull in, and she's young enough, and she might practice enough to where she might get herself in one day. Hopefully we get them bumped off, because she wasn't even a Republican in good standing until 2024, calling the kettle black, talking about me and Catherine being horrible Republicans, and she wasn't even in good standing. Kyle weaponized, he helped write the rules that were used against me and Catherine back in February, to the rules that we had never seen before. He was fully aware of it, and I feel like they baited us into some things just to get us in trouble. That's another story for another day. Larry Lee Savage did make it on the board. I heard he's been talking about me a lot this last couple weeks, which I'm not even going to throw anybody under the bus with that either, because I like his wife Celeste. So I'm just going to let that story die down, and I'll be for somebody else to release to the public. Well, actually, it'll be Judge Judy's nephew or son's legal show. Pick something up. I don't know if he said he was going to go or not, but he might be on TV in the next couple months, and it's not good PR. It's kind of like the stolen ballot, but just as bad. Right. Wrong is wrong. But some of the stuff, yeah. So Rob Steele, doesn't surprise me. He came in high, 12% of the vote for District 4. Mike Gaskell, of course, came in because people don't really know some of these other names. I don't really know Karen Shreves. I like Lana Farling. She's a pastor's wife. I don't know if he's still actively pastoring a church anymore, but her husband's a pastor, so I like Lana. I've known her since I was a little kid. Timothy Lear, I'm not sure who that is. Tom Farling didn't make it in, but those are two names you'll probably see pop up the next couple of years for these types of races, like the delegate and precinct committee people. Okay, that's that. I'm going to go on over here just to take a look at what happened for the Democrat Party. I actually hung out at Zion because I felt like I was watching history. Plus, I like Zion because I like Zion. It just makes me comfortable. It's a comforting church. I grew up, my mom's house was over on 9th and Arrow, so I grew up on that side of town too. And I just know a lot of the people. Okay. I like Jackson Franklin. He was one of the ones I got in trouble for sharing his post. I like his charisma. He's charismatic and he can lead. He's currently, I think, National Guard, combat medic. So I was really impressed by him. J.D. Ford pulled the win, 35%. I like Phil Goss. I don't know. I don't know what it takes to get up there to the big leagues, but I'd have to look into J.D. Ford more. But he won, so he'll be going up against Victoria Sparks. I don't know if he can. A lot of people think he can win and beat Victoria, but I don't know. Depends on if the president stays in those races or not. Tammy Dixon Tatum. Her nieces and nephews grew up next to the house I grew up on, or grew up in. Catherine's not here tonight. Dexter won. She's doing charting and going to pick up signs. So I'm just kind of keeping the show alive, talking about what we just went through. I did find out when I was at the Zion on Tuesday that Todd Shelton, it was the whole thing with him was off. I think he came in later and started running. I think he was trying to run for one of the other seats and then noticed that there wasn't as many. Don't quote me on that, but I do know he came in later. Tammy Dixon, I got to watch that happen on Tuesday. So even though Catherine lost, for the Republicans, I've done a lot of work with Tammy. I've worked with Ollie on a couple different projects as a Republican, and they've always been good to me. Maybe not in the beginning because me and Ollie used to fight, but nowadays, these days, last couple years, me and him have gotten on the same page, and he's grown on me. So I like him now. Did they have all the precinct committee people on this one? Oh, wait. Oh, that's for the bigger ones. Okay. Oh, I almost skipped Kim. Oh, it's Phil Gift I was thinking of, not Goss. No, I don't know who Phil Goss is, so I take all that back. It's Phil Gift. It was the G that threw me off. Phil Gift. Hey, he's pretty cool. Yeah, Ollie can. I mean, he's just kind of funny. I mean, I know he gets mad and he throws fits at city council. Just on a side note, on a human note, he makes me laugh and giggle. And he's the only council member, city council member that stood up for me on numerous occasions about letting me speak and getting freedom of speech. Whereas Jennifer Culp always tries to shut me down. Ollie Dixon, the Democrats, always telling everybody to let me speak. Okay, this is some good numbers for Stephanie Mace Dennis. 6,301. I think that other one, 4,000 votes for Linda. Uh-oh, boys and girls. This right here. Stephanie Mace Dennis might give old Linda a good run for money. Okay, Rayford. I like Rayford. Norman Rayford Jr. Sorry. I don't know why it keeps resetting, but I'd prefer to look at this page than the other ones. Oh. Okay, so Tammy got the at-large Democrat convention delegate. Kim got the other one. They were almost neck and neck on theirs. Coco made it in. Or is it one? Ah, man, I don't even know. That tells you. Here's precinct committeeman. If you don't know, this is how you find out who's over you. You might have to go to the other page to find out which district you're in, though. Cheryl Horning made it. Norman Rayford Jr. got Anderson 2-8 precinct. Lisa Jones made it. Mary Baker. I don't know how to say that last name. I like her, though. Oh, she didn't make it. Okay. Amber Lewis Lilly made it for 3-6. Carnita Wilson. Okay. Fred Reese. Yeah, it's a good run. I like Carnita. She has been there last couple of times I've argued with the Anderson Redevelopment Commission over the water. Ollie made his seat. So David Ikes. Ooh, Maria Alexander beat David Ikes out for the precinct 5-3. That's interesting. Stephanie Mace Dennis won her precinct. Okay, Tess is in. Tess does stuff with the water too, ex-military, so she's a veteran. She's the one that Alec Garment She's been in the newspaper a couple times over that Superfund site. Oh, I don't know if I skipped this, and I'll try to go real quick, but Obadiah Smith Jr. was another one I got in trouble for sharing his post. He's a veteran, and he actually scored really good here with 3,268 votes, and I think he got more than the Republican Shively in the primary. Even though they weren't running, it doesn't really matter, but it kind of does. Just shows what they might be scoring in the fall or in general election. Lisa Hobbs won Elwood. That was a close race. Okay, that's what I wanted to see too. Coco Armstrong got 3,069. Dominic Wills. But I don't know how that works. They might all three go up against these three Republican candidates. Six Puppies, is that how that works? So I know you probably know the answer. The township board members and the three, do these three go up against the three Republicans? I'm going to keep moving. Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. So these three will be going up against three Republicans in the general election. And I'm telling you, I think that the Democrats have a good chance to flip a couple seats. I was going to wait until the end to talk about that, but just based on some of these number performances in the primary and what I saw sitting over at what would primarily be a Democrat polling location. A lot of Democrats going to that one. There was a large turnout in comparison to some of the other places. Some places were barely getting any. Okay, so where are we at? Go down here. So yeah, you can see your precinct committeemen and women on this website. And there's a lot of switchovers. So there's some new leadership coming in, like Stephanie Mace Dennis. She's tried several times and finally made it. Tess Etchison's coming in. Ray Walker made his precinct committeeman slot against Joe Newman. Interesting. That's interesting. Ben Orcutt made one. Okay. Jennifer True will now be Fall Creek Democrat precinct committeeman. We'll see how good she does. She's kind of mean. My science teacher, Cheryl Jane Myers. Robin Wagner, I like her too. So, yeah, looks like the Democrats got a lot of new leadership coming in. And then the Republicans will go do this precinct stuff again in the next couple years. So you'll have to pay attention to that. See if you can get on the ballot. So, all right. So I can't really speak for Catherine on some of this stuff, but I can speak for myself. And whereas a lot of people were saying, that I lost and they were picking at me online, a lot of people didn't see that I actually had won the spot that I wanted. Because I didn't really, I kept telling everybody I didn't really care if I won or lost in the county council seat. And then this number we just saw was 83. I don't know, rephrase that. Because I think I was in between screens when I don't remember what I said. Oh, okay, you were following along. Okay, that's talking about the precinct committee members. And if that doesn't answer your question, Karen, then pop back on. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put these over here on the side, so maybe I'll see them sooner and be able to answer some of them. So comments. Some of these are on the Two Chicks YouTube channel, engaging with each other. It's harder for me to try to engage with everyone when I'm the one running the board and trying to tell a story at the same time. Just it's a little bit more difficult. But if I see them here, it'll make me look. Okay, like you like some on the list. Is that I like some on the list. Is that as action in office? I don't understand that last part of the question. Well, I don't know if like Coco, she's always been nice to me. So I don't know how any of them will really do in office. I like them as people. I like them as humans that I have interacted with over the years that just happen to be of a different political affiliation than myself. A lot of them have different backgrounds than me, but we come together on a lot of hot topic discussions, and like city council, county council, the water issue, and like Carnita, she's a Democrat. I didn't really know that because we've never really talked about our political affiliations. We talked about water and contamination, and she's very knowledgeable. She was the one, I don't know if anybody was watching with the Anderson Redevelopment Commission when, okay, yeah, I get you too. See, I'm trying to figure out and answer it, girl. Yeah. So Carnita was the one, she, like, we had never really spoke outside of the one of the chambers, and she was there when I wouldn't leave the table. And yeah, duty is not the same as party. Duty to the Constitution and the people of the United States. Okay, yeah, you're talking sea legs. Is it the admiral law versus the law of the land? Those are some good questions. I don't know. We'd have to sit down and talk about that on the side. Yeah, so anyway, back to people we're talking about. I lost the district race. Okay, fine. I lost the district race, but I get to go and help pick out or vote for the delegates in the June at the convention. She's talking about sworn allegiance. Yeah, see, I haven't been shown anything that says I have to swear an allegiance to a party yet. And I don't know if they put anything in front of me, if I'd be able to swear to a party or not. So that was that. So I don't know. I didn't really focus on any of this, like when I first filed, because I wasn't really sure if I'd be able to get it. Okay. And you know what? I do not have the Russ Willis complaint in my folder. Like, I haven't uploaded it yet. I did do, let's see what this one is. Okay, those are some of my, oh, that's a different complaint. I have to file complaints all the time. Okay, I did file some complaints with the District 5 myself after what happened in February. But what happened in February because it didn't make sense to me why they would take me to District 5, and I've never seen the rules before. And then it's been a learning experience. I don't know if I have the page. Okay, here. I'm going to do this. So apparently there are rules. Go figure. If you want to be backed by the GOP, nobody ever gave me these rules. It took me a minute to find them myself, and I finally figured out how to find them. And even today, as I was pulling this website up, if you look at this, February 2026, when this first all went down, it said January 2026. I don't know. They keep changing these rules, so it's kind of hard. Like they expect us to know what all of it says. And then, let's see the drafting process. Once again, here's Kyle Pierce as one of the drafters of the rules. That's what bothers me. How are you going to be out of rules yourself and then help make up rules several years in a row? So those are the kinds of things that bother me. And then this Darren Reese guy right here, he was one of the District 5 people that sat in on the hearing. So it just bothers me to know some of this stuff now. I never knew this. I never knew that the Republican Party had rules until 2026. I just assumed that, they're kind of general. But this is as in the organization of the Indiana GOP. Let me pop open over here. If you haven't seen them, I suggest, if you consider yourself a Republican or a Democrat for that matter, go see if you can find rules. How about that? Just go see if you can look into your party that you have called yourself your whole entire life and see if you can find anything that you don't like about the rules or that you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know something. I didn't know that they had their own set of rules until 2026. And then the one they tried to get me with was 125. And see, they even talk and most, you can be kind of funny if you want. Start asking your elected officials what Robert's Rules of Order are. And if you go to any meetings, it would behoove you, if you don't know what they are, then it would behoove you to look into what it is, what the Robert's Rules of Order consist of, because it basically tells you how to run a meeting. And sadly, a lot of local officials do not know what the Robert's Rules of Order are. So a lot of the time we've spent the last couple of years arguing with people that are supposed to be following them but have no idea what they are. So it makes it really difficult to have a debate if you don't know what Robert Rules of Order are. These are some good, good information in this packet. And I'm trying not to go too fast. So if you guys are reading the screen as I'm going, I'm skimming, trying to get to the one that they used against me and Catherine. And then I filed 5 after this because I didn't know that you could file a complaint with District 5, or I would have already filed one against Russ Willis a long time ago. So basically, Rule 125 is Republican in good standing shall be defined as a Republican who supports Republican nominees and who does not actively or openly support another candidate against a Republican nominee. Okay, well then, how is Christy Grabowski in good standing then? Because if this is the rules of the Republican Party and she is your elected official, then by her standing in the chute, electioneering on 425, she would be a Republican in bad standing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about there, I'm going to go over here to page. I'm going to pop it up here in a minute. Some of you probably already seen this. See, there she is right there in the chute. And this is what they were doing. This is McElvon right here. These are several other candidates. I believe this is the younger Culp. So Jonathan's right here. The chute line would be about right here. Here is Christy Grabowski. And this is David Albee, who went around and took his little lawnmower and damaged some of my signs, and people think that's funny. I don't think it's funny to damage signs. Here we go again. So this is before we were corrected, okay? And you can see we were there, but see, I had already got over to this spot, and not once did these guys tell me that I should move my signs because they're in the chute. That was Landon came later, gave me a warning, and we moved these signs. So as you can see here later, here is Mikhail and Grabowski in the chute, and our signs are gone. So they knew by this point that this was the chute, and they continued to stay in it. Aaron made up a word. So if you haven't seen some of those, let me go over there. So here's, show you this real quick. So this, if you guys are interested, you can go look at some of my complaint packets. Check these reels. So I can get to them through my reels quicker. Okay, so if you haven't seen,
Okay.
it's basically what happened here while we were out here arguing in front. Basically, David Albee was over there ruining my signs. So I got about, when you start calculating, when you buy these signs in bulk, you get them at discount prices. Okay. And yeah, so by the time somebody, and what happened is normally this would probably wash off, okay, dried grass, but it wasn't just cut grass. It had just rained, and the grass, then the sun came out, and it got up to the 70s. Oh, well, that's comments from another, some over here looking at my comment section. Let's turn that off. Yeah, so once the grass was basically sun dried onto our signs, it wasn't coming off. And so I didn't really find these signs until Monday when we were going out trying to figure out where we were going to place all of our signs. And so I figured out that we had almost $1,000 worth of damages. So it wasn't very nice, and it ruined some of them. And here is, wait, is that? No, that's just the pictures. So there is, Catherine was able to find the one of Russ coming out there to tell us that it was the chute. I can't remember if I put it on this or not, but you can see him in the chute on the other side. They wanted me to keep my flags though. Oh, let me take that banner off. Kind of upset me a little bit because they were like, you got to move your signs, and if we have to move our signs, then the people should have had to move too. And for whatever reason, people did not move. They stayed in the chute. I'm trying to see these comments here. So right over here at the bottom, you guys can't see my arrow on the screen. Okay, well, to the right, there's a couple flags over there. Those were my campaign materials. So everybody told me I could keep my campaign material, like my flags up there. Yeah, so they could stand in the chute right beside them. But Catherine, we're going to transfer some of these videos over to the YouTube channel, so they will be up soon. But then here we go. This is the president of the election board. Okay, now she is inside the chute with them. And we can argue this all day long, but this dude right here is a sneaky snake. And I believe that he pulled a bunch of people in so that he could be like, see, you were in the chute with me. But see, she is an elected official. So if we go by what the rules say for the Republican Party, let's go back over here. Rule 125, the term Republican in good standing shall be defined as Republican who supports Republican nominees and who does not actively or openly support another candidate against a Republican nominee. Well, if you have two Republicans running against each other and you choose to support one over the other, I think that would fall under this. And pretty much, I think this rule right here takes out half the Republican Party just based on what they did to me and Catherine in the last 6 or 3 months. And then they started paying people to come after us, which sucks. But here's this part. So here's the president election board. Here's Mikkel Vaughn and Christy Grabowski with the county council. This should be considered electioneering. And if you go and listen to this video, okay, so something was said, you see, and I think she was super mad right here, just because the way she was walking towards me when I was recording, I could tell in her body language. Yes, they were wearing political garb. They sure were. They have the, they were talking to people. I mean, if you see all the video, okay, here's one. They have the Vaughn shirt. She's inside the chute. The chute line would have been like over here. Here's Mikkel Vaughn inside. That right here to this point right here was 30 feet. So this is 30 feet inside the chute. Wait, yeah. See, and that's sad to me, Karen. I don't like that we can't be friends with people regardless of who they are. I feel like that's a segregation. So here they are. We got, like I said, we got lots of video. And then this is a pretty long video. And then here at the end, I show from 2024, just a clip. And I can go back later and show the whole Russ clip. But he comes in and measures it. And so Christy and Mikkel, okay, I'm going to go all the way to here. Here's Christy and Mikkel right here. So if you watch this actual video clip, you can hear Mikkel telling Russ Willis, oh, we're okay over here. You know, and he wants to say stuff like, I don't know. I don't remember where the chute was. He's super intelligent when he wants to be. Oh, there's ways to mark the chute. They could use like they could have used cones. Okay, they could have used cones. There's a few things they could have done. They could have used tape, but nobody had measured it on the 25th. But if we go off of time, Tim Lannon showed up at noon. So from noon to 4 p.m., Mikkel and Christy still stood in the chute after being told that they were in the chute. So, okay, I'm just going to see where this...
At the end of the day, that's not the subject. The subject right here is, that's a violation. It's not my...
Okay, hold on. Let me go over here.
100,000 for their annual thing. But at the end of the day...
Control. They had the 4 votes. I fought them.
No.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I'm on record fighting.
But at the end of the day, that's not the subject. The subject right here is, that's a violation. It's not my opinion. It's Indiana code.
You had three board members here.
I had 3 board members here.
Why didn't they mark it off?
Why didn't they mark it? Listen, I have no idea, Mikkel. But again, that doesn't matter if the board members. You, as a candidate, has to know the rules.
I'm saying they should mark it off.
You have to know the rules as a candidate. And you know that. They're not going to say, oh, well, you didn't know the rules. Now, you said to me, Catherine, there's nothing you can do. You can't do anything about it.
You can't. I mean, what are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
Talk to voters and win. That's not going to do anything.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying.
No. The rules need to apply to everybody. We've made it a total lie. You're in violation of electioneering. That's a misdemeanor.
One thing.
And it's okay. It's okay to violate one thing. It's not okay to violate anything.
It's okay to spread false rumors and make false accusations.
Please show me.
We see it. That's all you do is post.
Please show me. Please show me.
On Facebook constantly.
Because my life doesn't live. At the end of the day, you're in violation.
Okay. And you must have been in some type of violation. I don't know as a violation. I can't take your word for it. You are not official.
Okay. You can't read Indiana code?
You are not official.
I'm not an official. You're right. So you need an official to tell you you're in violation?
I'm not official.
You're not an official. You're right. But you have to know what Indiana code is. As a candidate, you have to know the rules.
I've not personally done it. And I
Not
don't
just
know.
a candidate.
Okay, but
No, no, no.
that is your job as a
You're the
candidate.
only one griping about it.
No, I'm not the only one dropping by it. No, in 24, it was a violation.
About this year.
So Indiana code is still Indiana code.
You're right. Russ came after you.
Russ came after me.
Yeah, that's why he came out and measured. We were out there all day.
So-
You came out here, and he measured it, and me and Christy were right over here on 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you watched him say I was in violation, so you know where the line is, and then you went ahead and violated in 26.
I don't.
No,
I didn't
you
tell
said, you just
testified.
said you watched him measure it in 24.
I can't remember he measured out till.
Yeah, and now you're saying, well, you didn't measure it. Well, you were here, you
You
watched
did.
the whole thing.
I didn't, but Russ did. I wasn't up there with Russ. I seen him say right here or something. Did he mark it or something?
It hit all the way out here.
I don't remember.
It wasn't
all that.
close where you could say, oh, well, is this in the range?
I'll give you this. I thought it was within a foot because I couldn't remember.
Okay.
I'm saying
Notice
all 3 election were
election.
earlier.
All 3 elections were out here. You are absolutely correct. And they didn't say a word.
I'm not going to. I didn't know. I knew he did. I didn't realize what actual spot.
Okay.
And everybody was up here.
Okay.
You guys were sitting over there.
But here's the thing. When you're going down the road, when you're going down the road,
I don't say nothing to you guys. I don't say. You go up there.
you don't say anything?
I've never responded to you guys on Facebook at all. I haven't.
No.
Bring up one comment.
Believe me, people call me when you knock on their doors and
I
talk
don't
about
say
me.
anything. It doesn't matter. I tell the truth about it.
It doesn't matter.
Man, I tell the truth.
I don't
You
know.
live your
Okay.
life a lot different than I
What do you think the truth is? That you don't know Indiana code? That's the truth? It's your job. I mean, you're a career politician.
Okay, there's a whole bunch there. If you want to see the whole clip, you can go over to our YouTube channel. I'm going to come out of here. Go back one, just so you can see it. So it's right here. Here's a shortened clip. The sneaky snake, Mikhail. I wanted to show something. What was I going to show? Okay, I know what. So they started telling people that I desecrated an American flag, and they took pictures or video clips from, I think it was this one, which, okay, whatever. But this is even funnier because I get into it with Mikhail starts yelling at me, and Michelle Daniels is standing there, and let's me see, let's him do it.
Well, that's a threat. Wouldn't you say that, folks?
I don't like those. So it's sad that I couldn't.
Okay, the lady right there in the red.
Okay, I'm going to play this. But sad part is I couldn't even put my signs out in front of the church. I had to remove them because these guys kept complaining after they got caught. And notice how they're on the other side there. They're not in the shoot this round. And then he starts kind of yelling at me, recording me. She's egging him on. Okay, a constitutionally conservative, ex-military. You want me to call her a veteran? Then she should have stood up and told the candidate that she was actively supporting over another candidate that just happens to be a Republican. Why is she there? She wasn't there to sing Kumbaya with everybody. She was trying to help get her buddy elected. And she was letting him act like a fool, and she was participating with him. So sorry, not sorry, but I have a duty to not support people like Mikhail Vaughn. And so just here we go. So he's already busted. He's already admitted to electioneering, and he starts yelling.
Beside Mikhail, that's Christy Grabowski, the elected official that can be seen in the Russ Willis video. Sorry, guys. The Russ Willis video from 2024. I'm just going to carry you with me, all right? I'm going to carry you because I'm going to place a whole bunch of signs over here because apparently, oh, I'm in my nose again. So apparently it's okay to place my signs everywhere over here, but I can't place them over there, okay? Can't place them over there because then people might think the church supports me and Catherine.
That's what they told us. So, okay. So I'm going to move forward a little bit.
In the chute, ladies and gentlemen. Looky there. Looky there. He's going into tattle on me, probably. Oh, she's...
He did. He went into tattle on me. He went in to get Michelle Daniels so he could sit out here and yell at me.
He's putting more signs out. Oh, God forbid. More signs. It hurts my feelings. I'm going to be on my life. Yeah. Michelle Daniels coming out. Say something to me. Okay, one. Look at him. There's your elected official right there. Christy Gerbowski. So here you go. That handed out pamphlets, that lied to her constituents about being a woman of God, hanging out with felons. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Hurt my feelings. Hurt my feelings.
That's what I said. I filed a complaint against him.
No, I'm not my... Okay, Mikkel, I've already talked to the election board today. Don't talk to me.
Okay, by this point in the day, okay, what you can't really see, and here in a minute, it's going to get going pretty fast because the poll workers are going to come out to me. The election board president, Michelle Daniels, does not come out to hand me the rules. I've already talked to the elected official, Linda Smith, who told me not to worry about it. She would take care of it. I've already talked to Tim Lannon by this point, and so had Catherine, okay? And I had already agreed that I would move some, and I've already got $1,000 worth of damage by this date. I think, see, this is the 27th, so this is on that Monday. And now Michelle and him and Christy are now all up in here trying to convince me that I'm in the wrong, but yet I already know that there's no law that exists about me placing them signs in front of that church. I've already requested all of the, what do you call it? The contracts for the church. Okay, I'd already got the contracts. They have not sent them to me yet. So it'll be interesting to see if the campaign signs are in the contracts, or if I was being harassed by David Albee, who had been harassing Catherine for 3 months, and I was collateral damage, and so were my signs. Well, I'm sorry. And I know that I've already kind of talked about some of this, but because today's theme and some of the people that have tuned in might not have saw this. Yeah, right. And it was after he had electioneered, and then some people are telling me that electioneering, them doing all this, probably is what helped him win the election. Well, okay, fine. But so I can't even put my signs out here, and they're harassing me over my signs. We're going to get to the bottom of it. So basically, this story is going to be playing out the next couple months. And I'm going to go ahead and play this clip out, and then I'm going to give a little prediction for what I think is going to happen in the general election, and then we'll call it a day, and I'll come back on this weekend about the park department.
Okay, Michelle, you want to come tell me? Michelle Daniels, come on. Let's have an interview. I can't hear you.
They had me heated at this point.
Let's have an interview. I've already talked to Linda, and I've already talked to Tim Lannon.
Here comes the poll workers.
Yeah, I talked to the Madison County election board already, and they said my signs were okay. You have to have them down for what? Okay.
Okay. So by this point, they're pointing to the ones over by the road, which were not blocking traffic. They were yard signs. They were not blocking traffic. Here, fishy, 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 orange, wide-eyed. So, yeah. So the ones, and it's funny that they're talking about the 2 signs because we have 2 missing signs. Guess which 2 signs are missing? The 2 signs that he's talking about that were down by the road that weren't bothering anybody, and I have pictures of them. So anyway, it's not this guy's fault. He's doing what they're telling him to do, and to me, this should have been Michelle Daniels. Michelle Daniels as the what do you call her? The president of the election board should have been out here telling me what my rules were. But she refused, and she's
the ones over here on this hill and over there on that hill.
and then
I've already removed those from the road.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you guys do realize that every polling place, even the churches, have allowed us to sit them out by the road, right?
Yes, sir, but what we got told is that they don't want them by the road because they don't want anybody thinking that this specific church is endorsing someone over anybody else. That's what they want. So
It's an election.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then we're going to file a complaint against the church about the harassment that I've received from one of your elders this morning, and I have the screenshots and the messages to go with it, plus 3 months worth. So you can make up your stuff, make up whatever you're trying to tell me. I'm going to go ahead and go call Tim Lannon and find out what he has to say. Thank you.
I did go call Tim Lannon, and they still couldn't produce any rules that I had broken. They still couldn't produce any Indiana code. It doesn't exist.
So apparently they're saying I'm breaking Indiana code by putting my signs out, right? Right. So nobody wants to show me the codes. Mikhail wants to yell at everybody, try to act like he knows more. And here we are. They don't want, so you just heard it, folks. The church asked. Yeah. The church asked for us to remove our signs from the road. Okay, so that means that nobody should be having. Okay, I gotta go make some phone calls real quick.
Yeah, that was horrible. So I don't really know where my photo is right now, but if you guys want to see some of the stuff I had to endure during this last week, there's some of my stuff, and people can laugh and whatever all they want to, but it is against the law to electioneer, and it's against the Republican Party rules, as you can see right there, to endorse Republican nominees and who does not actively or openly support another candidate against Republican nominee. Just saying. Then I want to go over here to Catherine's just real quick because you can see something I want to show you. Oh, she's live. Oh, I'm live on hers. Ha ha ha. Okay. When we pulled up, this is Liberty Christian. Okay. I want you guys to
until we get involved. And so, you know, the rules have got until we get involved. And so
the little 50 whatever, the little spots right here. So this all the way to here is what was considered the shoot that Mikhail Vaughn and Christy Grabowski were breaking. And see, yeah, Danny, they're supposed to post they're supposed to have all kinds of stuff, right? And so, oh, that was you. Okay. Okay, I see. I will get with you because you might have some information. I get it. Okay, yeah, they should, like, if you look at other Catherine videos from like Hamilton County had the shoot marked off properly, and they had all of the correct Indiana codes. But what I want to point out here is she's getting ready to show something.
you know, the rules have got to be the same for everybody. Like, they'll crucify me for something I'll do, but then they won't.
Okay, now, can you guys, I know you guys can't really see it in this video, but right here, and I'm hoping that she brings this video into play, but right here in the corner, there are a bunch of blue signs leaning up against the church, which I mentioned that at the beginning of the video that I wanted to point this out. This is the same church that was causing me issues all last week, David Albee, the sign damage. And then just so happens that another Obadiah Smith Jr., his signs were the one, they pulled all his signs from around the property, the Democrat. And they pulled Hughes's signs, Obadiah's signs. Let's see.
Do anything to the people who are actually doing the violations. So I just want people to clearly understand.
Oh, and there was a JD Ford sign. I do believe there was a Ford sign that was
See
pulled.
what those violations consisted of. I have no idea why there are.
There she goes. Okay, so see these as she's getting closer to these were signs. They all appeared to, well, I think Hughes was the only one that wasn't the Democrat, but all these other ones are blue signs. Obadiah Smith, none of those signs, I don't remember any of them being anywhere that they shouldn't have been.
All those signs stacked up over there. I have zero idea why those are there. So I just want people to see that. Yeah, I don't know why they're there. So as we look, I want you just to take a look at the signs that are out here.
Why are they leaning up? Do you know why they're leaning up against the door?
They look like Democrat signs.
They are Democrat signs.
So I'm not sure why that's taking place, and I can't get my camera to. I can't get my camera to go back down. Anyways, so this is where we're at. Everybody kind of has a good idea of what's going on. Well, maybe. So we'll keep you informed. I've got a big hit piece to come at you guys. I got to go to another polling site to get it done. So I will come at you soon. It's starting to rain. I hope people.
Okay, the other hit piece that we worked on that day was these culp signs. Jennifer had her culp signs up, and they had Jennifer culp, so they were much different than all the other culp signs. Kyle Pierce had a sign up, but the signs we were mad about were the Jennifer culp signs, and she was running against me as the delegate. So back here, friendly reminder, just in case there's new people tuned in. So I had beat her, but her signs were up running against me. But her signs had what she was running for the last round was like the state representative, and she was running for delegate. So it's kind of confusing because people could still see that wording underneath it. So if you guys want to go check her videos, she kind of gives a rundown on that. And let me go over to some of my reels real quick just to kind of go out on what I feel like I got to watch some history play out at Zion, just because there were so many people that were coming out for both sides, but mainly just how this parking lot looked all day. I'm just going to let this play for a minute, and then I'll come back out and kind of talk about the predictions for the general election.
Okay, let's see. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, voters, and whoever's watching. We are at Zion Baptist. The rain's coming down, but if you notice, we're staying dry because we got an awning here. Okay. Got the awning, but I'm going to go out here for a minute. See this? This is what a polling place is supposed to look like. Right? That's it. So I don't understand why we're having so many problems with all the signage, right? But we are. It is what it is. But if you were in town and you have not voted yet, I suggest coming down here to Zion Baptist. Because there's a lot of people out here. And there's Ken over here, Mr. Kid. There's Norman Rayford. Got Aaron over here. You don't just stop it. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this polling place, you got all kinds of people in here, and we're all staying dry. Yeah, so look. Oh, yeah, we're getting live. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not got out to vote yet, you are missing out. You need to get up here to Zion Baptist because, well, one, it's one of my favorites to come to. Just cause, and it helps keep their doors open. They have sample ballots in here. So, look at a book.
So, I know that each one of these polling places are going to be different. But if you could see how the polling place at Zion was so much different than the one over there at Crossroads. I get different churches, different denominations, yada, yada, yada. But I had fun at Zion. And they, I probably was, I think I was the only Republican over there. That the candidate that was actually standing out there playing with them. And, we I don't know, we banter back and forth with one another. And, at one point I just realized that was the spot to be at. And I wanted to watch history play out. I wanted to watch Tammy and them possibly beat their opponents. And they surely did. That, like, the numbers and the people that came out to vote for those guys was incredible. Just like the people that came out to vote for us. I mean, we were just overwhelmed by all the people reaching out to us and praying for us and behind the scenes and whatnot. It's a party and fun side there. They weren't mean. And that was at the end of the day when we're all running races, we're all, running against each other. A lot of us, we all grew up together. We're all, we grew up here. So we don't fight like some of the other candidates that aren't from here come in and try to bash all the rest of us and put us all down. No, all of us folks that have been here, done that, got the t-shirts, grew up here. And that one came up. Yeah. So we don't fight. In fact, we team up on some of the biggest projects like Bingham Square, me and Tammy and Ollie. Man, there's so many people to name on that one. Crooms, Greg Graham, Ollie Dixon, Stephanie Mace Dennis, Brianna Davis, Catherine. I mean, we all came out for that one. People were bringing us loads of stuff to donate to those people that lost power. David Ikes and them. Even though he was the one that cut the power, he showed up and we got them showed out. Kim Townsend was even in on that one. And we got them all moved before Christmas. Maybe one or two that still had some issues. But, we got her did. But at the end of the day, we got to learn how to work with each other. So I enjoyed hanging out at Zion that day. And the Democrats let me.
And you pretty much find you gotta learn.
And this here too, like these polling sites, you should be able to go in each one of the polling sites here in Madison County and find this information. So if you don't find it, that's, questions you need to start raising. So based on my experience this week, I truly believe that in the general election, we're going to have a lot of seats are going to flip. I think they're possibly going to flip blue. I've had other Republicans saying first time in their life, they are let down by the Republican candidates and the Republican elected officials in Madison County. And it's quite possible that they're going to start switching up their votes because they've had enough of the shenanigans. So I will have a list. I'll start putting together a list so that I can read it off better for the next round. Next week, let me see what's okay. So the 12th and the 14th will be the city council, county council. I think there's a couple meetings coming up next week. This weekend, we're going to take care of the Parks Board one. We'll do a podcast on that. My cat is stuck in a box, you guys. I can't make my stories up right now. This is crazy. What are you doing? Okay, man. Okay. I got to get off here. I got to take care of these crazy fur babies. And if any of you guys want to come back on, it'll probably be either Saturday morning. Ooh, sorry. Nope. Yeah, I might come on Saturday. No, this weekend is the Veterans Coffee Club. So on Saturday, we will be doing the Veterans Coffee Club podcast. So tune in for that one. That's going to be a good little time there. I think Obadiah Smith might come in. Jeremy's supposed to be there with me. And we're going to talk about veteran stuff and drink coffee, and everybody's welcome to come and ask us questions and just chit chat with us. So anyway, thank you guys. Thanks everyone that stayed from start to finish. Some people will tune in later. Send me private messages to my Facebook if you want me to be able to answer sooner than later. And with that, I'm out. Thank you guys, and shalom.